Okay, in this video I want to speak to you about having an ego at your workplace, and where having an ego or even pride can seriously backfire, and what you should do about it. Okay, give me your thoughts in the comments below. Now, I get these topics because I keep dealing with my clients, coaching them, mentoring them. So I was speaking to my regular client, and he was giving me the report for the day. What did he do in the office? How was it? Who did he interact? And I guide him how you should go about, even if he has presentations or he has to prepare for a meeting. So I kind of guide him and mentoring him. You might think it's a student. It's not a student. It's the guy is in his 40s. He's taken up a very senior leadership role. So he's new at it. Okay, so he was just sharing with me that there was a meeting which he had to also be part of because his top boss was there. And at that meeting, they had one colleague who had a disciplinary hearing. Okay, and people who were involved in the department and all, had to be there. Okay, because a lot of blame game, blaming each other, pointing fingers was going on. So the guy in particular was this gentleman, very talented. He is supposed to be one of the best in the company. Very good at the work he does. Young chap, highly qualified, very good personality, well educated, and he is considered the best. But the problem is, he has this massive ego. He literally has arguments with his seniors and difficult to work with and doesn't take crap from anyone. And I mean, clients love him, but the problem is the people in the company, his own colleagues, don't. He's one of those hyper ambitious guys. So I'm pretty sure he also must be having a mentor. So at the disciplinary hearing, just imagine the top bosses are there. This guy was not ready to back down. He was standing there, he was talking, and it was a very hostile meeting. And finally it came down to the part where it nearly ended up being a shouting match, where this guy, right in front of them, said, "If you want, here's my resignation papers. Let me know whom should I throw it to." He actually said, "Let me know who should I throw it to." So there was a lady, she is very senior. She was, kind of part of the discussion. I think she was chairing the meeting. She said, "Cooler heads should prevail. Let's adjourn this meeting. I'll have a one-to-one with each one of you." So they adjourned it. And, my client was rather shocked. I mean, he was very shocked. He was like, "Oh, sheesh, I can't believe the top boss. We literally shiver when we talk to them. They're very, high level, highly accomplished, great contacts, and he's not afraid." So when I listened to all this, I asked him, "What do you think? So give me your opinion, then I'll tell you what do I think." He's saying, "I really admire the guts of this guy. He really has the balls. He really has the courage to stand up. People are talking about it. We're at the meeting later on. He really is gutsy, courageous, and no wonder he's one of the best. And, with this kind of self-belief, he will succeed." So I asked him, "Do you think he'll succeed?" He said, "If not in this organization, he'll succeed maybe elsewhere, because he's never going to take shit from anyone." So I listened to what he had to say. And then I told him, "Okay, now can I give my perspective?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I want you to Google search this person's name. Her name is Katherine Heigl." He's saying, "Oh, the spelling will be in the description." Her name is Katherine Heigl. Katherine Heigl had a series of, she's a Hollywood actress. She had a series of hits, like movies, and she became the highest paid actress. In fact, she was commanding not demanding, commanding the pay scale or the amount of money that maybe some top male actors would ask. She was that good. Sorry. The media loved her, the audiences loved her, everyone loved her, except the industry people. She was always fighting with the producers, the directors, the actors. She always was making a drama. She was always left, right and center with anybody and everyone. And she went on, and her reputation got built up that, okay, she acts in movies, there is a great box office collection, big success, whatever, but she's very hard to work with. Okay, same thing with Vin Diesel and The Rock, no? Before, it seems Rock was very hard to work with because Vin Diesel's ego is also there. But anyway, they're coming together because now they need money. When you need money, the ego goes. So Rock, after the flop of Black Adam and XFL, where he lost 60 million, become humble again. Anyway, that's a video for another time. So Katherine Heigl, she kept fighting with all the producers until I think Seth Rogen and 2-3 very well connected producers and directors, she had a tussle with them, ego issue. I don't know who's at fault, but the minute she had a tussle with these guys, they all, what they decided is enough of this. They all got together and they decided to boycott her. Like, you know how they boycotted Brandon Fraser, right? Okay. So they all decided to boycott her, and guess what? Soon work dried up. Nobody wanted to give her a movie. Even if they knew that taking her will get millions of dollars, they said, why don't we take someone else? And that money that we can pay her, let's promote the movie and make it a hit. And you know, there is always this saying, you can't fight against the system. Same thing which I give against Andrew Tate. You can't fight against the system. You're not greater than the system. And you know, you're not indispensable here. People have a very short memory and they forget you very fast. You're as good as, like they say, you know, you're as good as your last achievement. Very soon, nobody offered Katherine Heigl a movie, and before you know it, days passed into weeks, weeks passed into months, months passed into years. And very soon, everyone forgot about her. And you know, you have money, yes, but there's always limit, no? And based on how much you spend, you'll come down to rock bottom. And she came to rock bottom. Very soon she realized, oh, I'm in trouble. And she started to make a comeback, but it was too late. Nobody wanted to deal with her, and especially people who are doing well off. Why would they care? Fuck off. She tried to make a comeback in some movies, it failed. She tried to make a comeback in TV shows, it failed. And now she is only relegated to B movies. Can you imagine? B, not movies, TV serials. Now she keeps coming for small time interviews, but nobody cares. And her career is destroyed. Now you might say, Loy, this is Hollywood, yeah? I'll give you a better example, me. You know, in my younger days, I was so cocky, yeah. You know how cocky this guy is? I was even more cocky. I thought nobody could touch me. I thought my contacts and connections with the Emiratis and locals and money and friends and... You can only, you know, they say, no? You have a rope, but when the rope reaches the maximum, this thing, then you get pulled. I thought I could have, like they say, panga with anyone until, which is documented, 2011, I had a ego clash, massive ego clash with the owner of that fake degree company. I thought I will put him in place. I complained to the CID, I complained to the level of FBI, I complained to the police, I complained to the government that this guy is issuing fake degrees with evidence. What happened? Nothing happened. money always triumphs. Money and power always triumphs. He had millions of dollars, millions that he could throw. He had contacts and he literally, I've shared this story before. You know, a bag full of money, you know, which you see in movies, no? Like they show you like one full, like the bag that you use for traveling, filled with money. That much money he had that he could throw around. If someone offers you money and tells, ignore this guy. And I'll tell you, lo and behold, they put false charges on me, and you know the story. I got thrown out because of my visa cancellation out of UAE, and I couldn't enter back. But I'll tell you that, but I did come back, you know that, okay. But that point where I was sent off to India, and I'll tell you this one thing which you know, sometimes people forget. When I was sent to India, that guy's an Indian. He could have easily asked someone to wait at the airport to kill me. Seriously, I'm not joking. I'm not saying this just for YouTube views. He could have easily appointed, a guy who has millions of dollars, he could have easily appointed someone, push him on the railway track, put a knife through his neck. Who would know? Tell me, who would? Thankfully, he was not one of those type of guys. He made life miserable for me, made sure I couldn't come back, but he let me live. Thanks to my contacts and my innocence, I did come back. And that was the renaissance of my life, and I made my career, my brand even bigger than before. But it was only after I left my ego, my pride out at the door. See, I'm not trying to say that you have to bend over and say, put your hands up over your head and say, I'm your slave, I'll take your shit. No, I'm not saying that. Maintain a level of self-respect, yes. But ask yourself, how much money do you have? Ask yourself, what is your current status? Ask yourself, who are your contacts and connections? You don't have any money, you don't have any resources, you don't have anything. Then does your pride and ego feed you? That is why you need to be smart, not guts and courage. See, what this young man is doing is making very powerful enemies, not one, many. And that also is an employee. Yeah, you can have the most amazing talent, skill, experience, expertise. You can be a money-making machine. But if people don't like you and your reputation is bad, nobody will want to deal with you, man. And if the powers that be come together, they will destroy you. We have seen this with the taker of Twitter, Facebook, you know, power struggle. He's fighting against industry giants and showing his ego because he's a young man, his blood is boiling. You can't fight against the system and win. You will lose. And like they say, you're not indispensable. See, all that guy had to do was be a little humble, be likable, and who knows, maybe he would have been on the board. All he had to do is play his cards right. You know, there are two ways. Either, you know, they show in seminars, no? Two people pushing with full force, or then they show another example where he is pushing and this guy makes it soft. So the guy pushing just, you know, has nothing to force himself on. So it's called the art, like judo, you know. Use that person's inertia or speed or whatever to your benefit. What do you lose by sucking up to a person's ego in the corporate world? He wants to say he's great, mighty. Better than that, instead of fighting, seek another job, get another job, and after you get another job, be polite, say bye-bye. The short term, by shouting, screaming and calling people names, yes, you'll feel good, oh, I'm the man. But that's only short term success. Long term, you'll fail. Better than that, be humble. Sorry sir, my fault. Thank you. Okay, here's my resignation. Fuck off. Okay sir, thank you. Go and do and show, no? instead of verbally attacking, say, I'm nothing, sir, nothing, you're great. And he'll feel happy, he'll let his guard down. You focus on your career, make something out of your life, no? When I did that the second time round, my brand grew even more. And ever since that day, no more arguments, no more fights. I choose my battles wisely. If someone is powerful, someone is, sorry, I'm at fault. Even if I'm not, sorry, finished. Go mind your own business. I don't want to be so courageous that the guy takes out a gun and shoots. Then yeah, I was courageous. I died, no? So you're courageous and dead, who does that benefit? Might as well be a slight coward and live smart and fight another day. But not fight with him. Fight the battle that matters. This is what I told my Padawan. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Agree, disagree, what do you think? You know, I love to read your comments. But yeah, put worthwhile comments, not nonsense. Alright? Chal, you guys take care.